So this is a real life story which happened with both me and my friend a few years back. So let's call my friend Chirag. And Chirag was an introverted type friend. He always had a few friends with him, and the peculiar thing about Chirag was that he used to travel a lot, and that too solo travel. He never asked any of us to come with him, and he always enjoyed his time alone, and he went all over India and Nepal as well, just solo traveling. So this time his agenda was to go to Rishikesh solo. And for those of you who do not know, Rishikesh is a holy place which is really, really close to Haridwar, and the river Ganga flows through there. So the river is considered sacred, and the belief of Hindus is that it washes away all the sins and all the bad things that you have committed throughout the life. So after going to Haridwar, Chirag decided to travel further to Rishikesh to enjoy the beauty, the landscape. So Chirag told me that he had found a hotel in Rishikesh which was not in a cluster of hotels. It was a single standalone hotels, and he also told me that it had a beautiful view, and he saw the photos online, and he told me that it looked really, really great. So when Chirag went inside the hotel and he signed in and all that, after that he called me. He told me that there was something weird and there was something odd about the hotel. So I asked him, what is he talking about? What does he mean? So he said that there is something in the hotel that he cannot put a grip on. There is something in the hotel that is just doesn't seem right about the hotel. So I asked that you need to chill, bro. I told him you need to chill, bro. You need to relax, and you might be getting paranoid. You're traveling alone, and you need to relax. So at that time, I did not realize what a terrible advice I gave him. So he put his luggage and all that in the room when he came to the room, and to which I remember that he told me that the room was pretty good and it was pretty decent for the price at which he got it. After leaving all his luggage there, he said that he will go for river rafting now. So I said, okay, have a great day, enjoy your time, and call me whenever you are back. So he said okay, and I bid him goodbye. In the night, in the evening when he called me, he had finished up with dinner and all that. He was heading back to his hotel, and he told me that you need to keep talking. He told me to do not hang up the phone and just keep talking with me. I said in a comedic manner, dude, I'm not your girlfriend. You need to get one and you need to relax. I'm gonna hang up the phone right now. I'm busy. So he said, please don't hang up the phone. Just stay on the line. Please keep talking with me. So again I said that, dude, I'm busy. I have some pending work I have some pending work that I need to complete. So we'll talk later, I guess. And then I hung up the phone. He called me the next time he called me, and I was a little bit skeptical about picking up his phone, but still he was one of my good friends, so I did. And he told me that, dude, I've been having this really, really weird feeling that there's someone watching me, and this weird feeling that I cannot get out of my head, that I'm not alone in this room. So that is when I started getting a little bit worried about what he's going through. So I started asking questions that, what are you feeling, what is it about, what are you experiencing? So he said that I've been trying to sleep for hours, but that there's a feeling, that there's somebody watching you and just can't get it out of your head, and you can't sleep. You need to relax, you're tired, just forget everything and sleep. So I think he followed my advice. He cut the phone. So the next time he called me was, I think, half an hour later, and this call, I remember it like it was yesterday, and it still sends goosebumps to me till this date. Even when I'm telling you all about the story, I still have goosebumps right now. He called me. He was panicking. There is an impression on the bed that there is somebody sitting right next to me. He could say, I do not want to touch that spot. I am standing beside the bed, and I do not think that I can lie down anymore. Again, I just waved it all off very, very stupidly. The next time I got a call from him was in the middle of the night. He told me that he saw a black figure on the roof right above his head. It was watching me, and when I woke up, it was just watching me. It was still, and it was watching me. But I do not know, it was too dark. There was only a little bit of light coming in my room, and that is when I realized that I have been wrong all along. I told him to get the hell out of there. Take your bags, take your luggages, pack it all up. I do not know what I said at that time. I just remember saying that you need to pack it all out and get the hell out. And he did. He was actually outside the room when he called me. He couldn't just stay in there. So what he did was he picked up all his luggage, he picked up all his bags, went straight up outside. He sat on the road for I think 1 or 2 hours, waiting for the next bus back to his hometown. And I talked to him the whole night till the bus came, till the next bus to his hometown came, till the time I talked to him and tried to ease him. And this is the experience that I wanted to share, and it's been so many years and still like in the back of my head. But even while telling you guys the story, this real story, it's still in the back. It's still sending me goosebumps, and I'm still feeling scared. And probably I still feel that if I would have used a little bit of my brain and a little bit of my senses, then he would have got out of the out of that hotel earlier on, and he might have not experienced what he had to go through.